So there I was, sitting on my couch, scrolling on YouTube Shorts, enjoying some mind numbing brain rot. And as I'm scrolling, I come across an ad. And not just any ad, but an ad that looked a lot like this. So you can imagine my intrigue when I saw this trailer and had no idea what it is I was even looking at. What is Marathon? Never even heard of Marathon. As far as I know, nobody was talking about it. I haven't heard any major YouTuber or content creator talking about it. Come to find out, it was revealed about a year ago, if not more. So like everything that makes absolutely no sense to me, I had to do some digging. What I found was very interesting. So this game wasn't going to be the next Call of Duty or even Battlefield for that matter. It was going to be a looter shooter? Now I'm going to be the first to tell you, I have never ever played a looter shooter before. I've heard of games of like Tarkov and Arc Raiders, but they just never really appealed to me. Like I've had a lot of friends that wanted me to pick up those games, especially Arc, but I don't know, I would watch a lot of these streamers and YouTubers play this game, and just the idea of getting all this cool stuff and being seconds away from death and losing all of it just never really appealed to me. But as I dug more, the game seemed to be really interesting, with an art style similar to like Borderlands meets Destiny, with gunplay that mixes Call of Duty, Halo, and Destiny together, kind of sort of in a weird way. Then I caught a couple streams of people doing the server slam, and I could not have hit that pre-order button any faster. I thought to myself, this game looks sick. I need to play this game, at least give it a try. So in this video, I kind of want to give out my thoughts, my first impressions of the game, while also diving into some of the controversy that I've been seeing online surrounding this game. So kick back, get your shields ready, and get ready to dive into Tau Ceti IV. This is Marathon. Before we begin, I have been streaming Marathon on Twitch at twitch.tv/IM_EPK. I also post random clips on my TikTok, Instagram, and also on my YouTube as well, on YouTube Shorts. Links are down in the description. Go and check them out if that tickles your fancy. And without further ado, let's get into it. This video is going to consist of my thoughts and opinions on why I think Marathon is a fantastic game. I do want to start off by saying that I am new to the looter shooter, extraction shooter genre. I never really played any of these types of games. I have heard of Arc Raiders but never have played it, and I've also heard of Escape from Tarkov and also have never have played it. Just the idea of dropping into a map, getting a bunch of really cool stuff, only for me to at any point in time be killed and I lose everything, just never really appealed to me. Especially with my background of playing games like Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Destiny. I do dabble a little bit in Fortnite, but I don't really play it that much. But I do enjoy a lot more since the no build has been released. So basically what I'm trying to say, I am no expert in this field by any means, so take everything I'm going to say with a grain of salt. Like I mentioned in the intro of the video, I was just sitting around scrolling on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or whatever it was that I was on at the time, and came across the trailer to Marathon. Now keep in mind, I have never even heard of this game being announced. I have not heard anybody talking about it online. No major YouTubers that I knew of at the time were talking about it, although come to find out Mr. Raffle Waffles was covering it, but I wasn't aware of that. Then all of a sudden, this brand new game trailer just drops into my lap. The song was super catchy. The imagery that they were showing gave me just enough intrigue to ask questions, and before I knew it, I was looking this game up. But when I looked it up, come to find out, it's a looter shooter, and I was a little turned off at first, I'm not gonna lie. The more I read about it, I found out that Marathon apparently was a game that came out originally for the PC way back in the late 90s. And there were 3 of them. There was Marathon, Marathon 2, and then Marathon Infinite. And they played a lot like the old school Doom games. And I got to talk to a lot of those original players who were super excited for when this game came out. I was so excited that I ended up texting my buddy Noah, who you might know from the Nuzlocke series of Tekken 7, that's on my channel, link in the description below. And I tell him, like, we need to get this game when it comes out. Like, this looks sick. And this is coming from somebody who does not play these types of games. I was so out of the loop that I wasn't even aware that Bungie had released a server slam for players to come and try out the game, kind of get a feel for it for the first time, and maybe make changes based on any feedback that the players may or may not have given. Between the server slam and finally maybe a few days after the release, I went in to go buy the game, and of course I check out the reviews to see what people were saying about it. And apparently everybody was trashing the game, and I could not understand why. People were complaining about the UI, people were complaining about the bots being too strong, people were complaining about the PvP in the game. I couldn't understand why people were saying these things when previously I was seeing people being super excited for it and telling me all about what they knew about the game at the time, and then fast forward some time later and everyone all of a sudden flipped the script and everyone's talking shit about it as if they want this game to fail at launch. But I'll just show you some of the reviews, and all the reviews I'm about to show you are straight from Xbox. This is not from Steam or PlayStation, this is strictly Xbox. CGX Vibe says, "It's definitely a video game, I guess. 3 hours in, hopefully the refund goes well. Pray for me, y'all." I agree, they are deleting reviews. This game did so many things wrong. ETS Steel Rain says, "Cross-play cheaters. Day 1 within hours already PC cheating. Shake my fucking head. Rest in peace, Marathon. Yet again, another in the Concordian timeline. Horrible UI and tutorial. No idea what's going on in the game. Throws you in without any tutorials. And one of the worst, most confusing UI I've ever seen." I'm cool, Ricky Yo says, "Dung. Enough extraction shooters already. The health system is pointless. You die from 1 bullet at full health, as if you had none. The UI is laughable. Maps are kind of boring and empty feeling. Nothing sticks out other than it's yet another extraction shooter trying to compete." Nano Ninja says, "Loading screens. The numbers, Mason. What do they mean?" I just wanted to throw that in just for fun. And those are just a few of the reviews that are just placed throughout the entirety of Xbox right now. People were super upset about it, and I'm not even understanding why still. But I can say, without a shadow of a doubt, that after playing it, as of recording this video at 32 hours and 48 minutes, that this game lives up to the hype that all the previous players and OG players were saying. I've been having an absolute blast playing solos, playing with random teams, and just having fun, going around looting, shooting other players, dying, maybe taking out a few teams of my own. Like, all of it together is fun, and I hope in this video I can not necessarily convince you that it's fun, but maybe convince you to give it another try, maybe even try it out for the first time. Maybe you read some reviews, maybe someone else had played it and told you it was a bad game and you decided not to pick it up. And before we go any further, I am not sponsored by Bungie. I am not affiliated with them in whatsoever. This is strictly my own words and my own opinions on the game, because I genuinely like this game and I want other people to enjoy it as well. I want to see this game do well. This section is going to go out to all of my FPS shooter brethren, from Call of Duty to Battlefield to Apex Legends, you name it. Coming into this game, you need to know that the time to kill is super fast. This was part of a few of the complaints that I saw online. Some people state that it feels completely unfair because even at full health, when you get shot, it feels like you have no health. And that is strictly just not true. One fun thing about Marathon is the fact that it really, honestly, to an extent, does not matter what guns you have, what kind of armor you have, how good of the loot that you are carrying is. Anybody and everybody can be taken out, from the weakest gun to the strongest gun. You can quite literally load into the map with a basic gray gun, and you can take out somebody with a full golden kit. Some might call it unfair, some might call it a balancing thing. But honestly, the best way that I think to look at this is more, yeah, you're easy to kill, but they are too. And even if you have a bunch of good loot and you bring it with you on a raid, you end up getting shot, you get taken down, and you lose all that stuff, don't even fret, my friend, because this game has what they call free kits or sponsored kits. I do believe Arc Raiders has a similar system. I could be wrong. Like I said, I've never actually played Arc Raiders, so somebody please correct me in the comment section below if I am wrong on this. But in Marathon, these supply kits, if you have like no gear or you have a lot of good gear but you just don't want to take it out, you can always opt out for the sponsor kits. Gives you a basic gun with no attachments, with basic heals and a little bit of ammo, and that can even take out some of the top players if you yourself can play very well. Now, the time to kill for the NPC bots that are throughout the entire map are a completely different story. Some of the weak grunt robots can be taken out very easily with your weapons, but the bigger ones with the shields, they can take a little bit more of a beating. People online like to complain that the bots are way too strong, and to an extent I guess you could say they are a little strong, but you have to understand that their entire existence is to take out runners like yourself. So it makes sense that they are a force to reckon with. I honestly believe that it adds a whole new layer of challenge to the game itself, considering that it is a PvP and a PvE game. For example, the game would feel really boring if you were to load in and you could just take out all the enemies with ease, no problem, and the only real threat would really be the runners, the other runners that are running around the map with you, looting and trying to exfil. But with the NPC bots being a little bit more stronger, a little bit beefier, they actually add another layer of challenge. So that when you go to these complexes, maybe you want to go all out and guns blazing, you can. But you could also go in a completely different direction and become a stealth player. But you have to be careful because these bots can spot you from pretty far away, and they will not hesitate to open fire on you, which may also alert to another runner in the area that there is another runner lurking about. And if you're not careful, these bots will take you out with the utmost prejudice. I will say though, if you are playing as an assassin, it does help to use the smoke to cloak yourself, or even just use your cloaking thing, and you can sneak around and taking out all the bots in the area if you need to. And as long as you're invisible and you use your knife, it won't even alert them. By the way, the knife is severely underrated. Once you upgrade your melee, one heavy attack should most likely destroy the lower grunt robots, make taking them out so much easier. I also want to add that Marathon is very unforgiving for players that stand still with the way the time to kill is in this game. You want to constantly be moving, especially when you're out in the open, out in the fields or around the map. When in gunfights, repositioning is key. But this is going to tie into the next segment of the video where we talk about the actual PvP and PvE of Marathon. The PvP mixed with the PvE aspect of this game, I think, is a welcome mix. What I mean by that is, like in games like Titanfall, where you're running around fighting other players, but you're also engaging with NPCs, what it seems like you have to engage most of the time. But in Marathon, you can completely choose to avoid all contact with the NPCs of the game. If you want to drop in and just loot and exfil, you can do that. If you want to drop in and just go straight bloodthirsty and try to take out as many teams as you can also do that as well. Everything you do in this game makes a noise. From healing to even opening up boxes and containers, all makes noise. Your footsteps, even while crouched, still make noise. Opening and shutting doors makes noise. Noise that can be heard by other players and also the robots. My best advice in this situation, when you or your team are even walking around, running around, doing what it is that you do, the second you hear someone's footsteps, everybody should stop doing whatever it is that they're doing, crouch, and listen. As much as I hate to say it, this game rewards camping and surprising your opponents. It's not uncommon in this game for you to walk into a room and get lit up by an entire team because they were already aware of your presence and waited for you to make a mistake. That mistake being you made too much noise, they got in position, waited for you to come through, and you were none the wiser. Other than map knowledge, another thing I would suggest for most players is to be aware of all the different spawn points throughout each map, which I do believe you can find those online somewhere. Hell, Bungie might even have released that. I'm not entirely sure. But knowing where you spawn, attest to all the other spawns that may or may not be around you, can definitely help in giving you an advantage over a team that may be near you. Remember, the end goal is not to take out every team in the map. The end goal is to get as much of the best loot you can get your hands on and get the hell out of there. This game definitely rewards patience, strategy, and knowledge of not only the guns or the skin that you may be running, but even your hearing can give you a huge advantage. As of recording this video, Bungie has already released not only duos for perimeter only, but they have also released Cryo Archive, the 4th map, thanks to the community completing an ARG that took place on multiple websites and even inside the game itself on the little terminals that are throughout every map. But the reason I bring up Cryo Archive is because that map is where you're going to get a lot of your PvP in. Also in Dire Marsh, because there, I think more teams spawn in that map, and also Outpost are your 3 top maps for PvP. Yes, there's PvP in perimeter as well, but it's a wide open map and you may not always run into a team. But in maps like Outpost and Cryo Archive, you're kind of forced into a lot of those conflicts. But with a little effort, some good aim, and maybe just a little luck, I know you can prevail. The gunplay in this game is absolutely excellent. If you're familiar with Destiny, it feels a lot like that. The guns are responsive, the gunplay feels tight and on point. It just feels great. Like, honestly, that's all I can say. But don't worry, it's not just going into the map and getting all the good stuff, getting loot, getting guns. It's not just going in there that you can get these things. You can be employed by different factions that can issue you these contracts, and when you complete them, they give you so much good stuff, which we're going to get into right now. The different factions of Marathon are going to be your bread and butter when it comes to leveling yourself up, getting new and interesting gear from the armory, and even getting little implants and perks that you can apply to your character as well. When you start up Marathon, you're going to be introduced to IceManIssac or Cyber Acne, which will be your first faction and probably the easiest one for you to level up. As you complete the contracts, you're going to get not only credits, which is the money or currency in this game, but you're going to get all kinds of weapon unlocks and stuff that's going to be sent straight to your vault. The vault being basically where all of the loot that you take home with you is going to go. After completing a few contracts, you're going to be introduced to the different factions. There are 6 in total. Cyber Acne being your first, then you'll be introduced to Nuka-Loric, and then Traxxas, Mita, Arcane, and Sakaguchi Genetics. Each faction has their own agenda that they are trying to achieve and will employ you to go and do their dirty work basically. But in return for doing so, they will reward you, like I said, with credits, with guns, with upgrades, shields, everything under the sun. And as you go to upgrade and as you level up each faction, you will unlock different nodes and a little skill tree for each faction, ranging from unlocking perks, implants, and guns in the armory, to your hazard tolerance being increased, your melee damage being increased, your heat capacity being increased, which is like the stamina in this game, or even the recovery of your heat coming back more faster. There are so many different things that you can do that will give you a leg up on the competition out there. I highly recommend that you take the time to do the different contracts, make sure you're leveling up your factions, taking time to upgrade your different nodes in each skill tree, because I assure you it will help out tenfold. I will warn you though, that Marathon runs on seasons like most games these days do, and every season is going to reset everybody back to the start. Your vault will be completely empty, all factions will be reset, including all of the things that you have unlocked through each faction as well. Now you might shudder at that idea, but keep in mind, it is to keep everything balanced. So if new players come in late, they're not going to be dominated by people that have been playing the game and have all this cool stuff. But this game is balanced in a way that even a new player could take out a veteran player. So there's that as well. If I had a favorite faction, it's probably going to be Mida. Not because of the things that they do or they want to do. I actually really like AI or the person, whatever he is. Like, he looks sick. I'm sorry. Like, I'm going to have him on screen right now so you can see, but he looks freaking sick, okay? I think he looks cool. But I can't stress this enough, everybody. Level up your factions. Because if you are kind to them, they will certainly be kind to you. When I was originally planning for this video, duos had not been announced or implemented yet. But that's okay, we can go ahead and just put that right in, it's okay. Marathon is best played in trios, I'm not gonna lie. It's best balanced that way. A team of 3, you can take out NPCs easily, and everybody can work together to take out other teams. But when you play solo, you gotta really think differently and play the game a lot differently. You can't just rush in and go into a gunfight and expect them to come out okay. A lot of things I see other players do a lot of the time, especially in solo, is that they'll fill up their entire inventory but still go out and about and try to loot more things. Don't do that. If you guys looted and you are completely full and you are satisfied with what you got, don't make what I like to call unnecessary risks. It's better for you to exfil with what you got and come back for more later than it is to try to go out and be greedy, try to grab more stuff only for you to get taken out by a robot, another player, and you lose all that. But in solo, it forces you to be more stealthy, which is why I highly recommend that if you play solo, play as an assassin or a triage. With triage, you can constantly be healing yourself, and you can even use your ultimate as a weapon. Yeah, you can't revive anybody with the triage, but you can still use your ultimate, and it can basically almost one-tap somebody if I'm not mistaken. If not, it does major damage. With an assassin, you can cloak yourself. Any smoke that you go into will cause you to cloak yourself, which will persist even after you leave the smoke. But with the implementation of duos, Bungie is basically doing an experiment on us to where they release this to us, but only for perimeter, just to see how things are working, if it can work, if there's any balance changes they need to do. And I gotta say, the duos has been working very well for me. If it hasn't been working good for you, please leave it down in the comment section and tell us about your experiences, because I'm genuinely curious about this. But I play this on Xbox Series S. I have had very little issues with duos, or with the game at all for that matter. And duos is just fun, because you can even play with your friend if you only have that like one friend, because in duos you can only play duos if you have a team of 2. You can't go in matchmaking alone. You have to have a team, and then you can queue into duos, which is how I got my friend Noah to play this game. Not to mention I bought it for him too, but we're not going to talk about that. But honestly, when it comes to solo, duo, or even trios, there's honestly no best one. Although the game is built for trios, you can still have fun in all the other ones. My favorite thing to do in solo, other than go in, loot, maybe do a contract or 2 if I can, is to find other runners and convince them to team up with me. Or even just have a conversation with them. It is very, very funny to find another runner or hear one walking around and you just start talking to them and they're just completely dumbfounded. I have a clip on my TikTok right now, matter of fact, of me having several interactions on the solo playlist where I found another assassin where he was doing the same contract as me, and since he didn't kill me, I told him he could have all the loot in the building. And when we ran off together, I ended up getting shot by another player who downed me, and I told the guy to come back and kill me and take my loot before the guy came and killed me, but unfortunately the other player that shot me got to me first, and he ended up running off. It was just a really funny interaction, and you can have so much fun like that in solo, you know, as long as people play along with you, that is. And it's not to say you can't do that in duos or trios as well. Definitely take advantage of the proxy chat. Now, should you buy Marathon? Well, at the end of the day, that is completely up to you. I highly recommend it. Remember, this video was not to convince you whether or not to buy the game, but just to give my opinions and my thoughts on why I think the game is fun, why I think the game is good, and why I think it doesn't deserve the hate. The UI is not that difficult to navigate at all. It's very similar to Destiny, if anything. It might take a little time to learn it, but overall, I don't think it's a very bad UI. If I was to make any changes to it, maybe make the sensitivity of the cursor a little better or faster, but other than that, there's honestly very little wrong with it. Sometimes when you load into games, you can't hear the other players in game chat, and that is something that Bungie is definitely working to fix. And I really gotta say this, it is a breath of fresh air to have a AAA developer release a game basically on time, and there being very little to no bugs, glitches, or any problems at all. Really, I never noticed any frame drops while playing, even when there was a lot of stuff going on. I never got randomly disconnected from a server. None of the weapons feel super overpowered except for maybe the shotgun, which has been nerfed since the latest patch, which honestly I still think it's powerful as fuck. But to have a game release and it just have everything there and it's only $40, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. There's a lot of guns. There's 7 different runner skins that you can choose from, with another one on its way, and probably more. I'm not sure if there's gonna be more maps, but maybe there's gonna be more maps that we can explore and expand the lore on. It just feels like a complete package for the most part, and that's very rare. I think Bungie completely abandoning Destiny and moving on to Marathon is a little weird, but I'm happy that it's getting the support that it absolutely needs, because this game is only going to get better. Let me put it to you this way. If I can convince 2 of my friends who have never really went out of their way to buy and or download a game based on my recommendation, do download it, and they both say that it's actually a pretty fun game, considering the fact that one of them definitely was turned off by all the reviews, I think that says a lot about the quality of this game. It's phenomenal, it's super fun, it's rich in lore, which apparently a lot of people say there's no story. Yeah, there is a story. Which, if you want a video centered around the lore of Marathon, definitely let me know down in the comments section, and I'll definitely work on something like that. I absolutely dig the art style that they chose to go with on this game, for sure. Kind of like a mixture of Destiny's graphics with a little bit of like borderline with a little bit of Borderlands kind of aesthetic to it. It's very bright, very color popping, which I guess has been a big turnoff for a lot of people. I guess people don't like the like futuristic or very bright contrast of the colors in this game. And honestly, I think the YouTuber IceManIssac says it best.
Of it, but objectively, for the style that they chose, they crushed it. This game is beautiful when you go in there. For someone who plays a lot of realism games, like a lot of hyper realism games, like Tarkov, Arma, Battlefield, Gray Zone, like I love that ultra realism world. I do. Ready or Not is another one I spend a lot of time on. I really appreciate what they're building here, and I've actually seen some people, they just go into their NVIDIA control panel and lower their vibrance so it's not as color popping. I mean, it's 800 years in the future on a planet called Tau Ceti, on a star system light years away from us, attacked by aliens. Like it's gonna be a little at times, but like it's cool. I like it. I will say the UI is a separate side of that I can empathize with a little bit. The UI is complex.
The gameplay in this feels a lot like a mixture of different genres, a little bit of FPS, a little bit of a battle royale feel to it, while also kind of sort of feeling like an RPG in a way. And the cool thing about this is I don't think that Marathon really does a lot of these things a lot of the time. I think it uses a lot of moderation so that it kind of becomes its own identity without falling too far in one direction, if that makes any sense. Like, you can drop into the same map over and over again, but have a completely different experience each and every time, and I love that about it. But maybe you've had some good experiences, maybe some bad experiences. Definitely let me know down in the comments section. And with that all being said, everybody, I think I've ranted on long enough about this game. If there was anything I didn't touch on, or maybe something I may have forgotten or gotten wrong, definitely do not hesitate to let me know down below. This video was a little bit, shall I say, unscripted. I kind of just turned on a mic and just started talking to see where this would go. I'm experimenting to see if I'm capable of doing videos like this. This is very outside of my element as far as production is concerned. So I wanted to test the waters to see if maybe y'all would be very interested in seeing more stuff like this on different games that I am passionate about, or even anticipating to be very good if they're not even out. Like, I want to do more discussion videos, or I want to talk about more things. So this is kind of my way of testing those waters and seeing if, you know, I can pull this off. So if this is up your alley, definitely subscribe to my channel for more, and don't forget to exfil that like button so that it tells YouTube that you got some awesome loot. And don't forget, as a friendly reminder, I do stream this game on Twitch. If you are interested, check that out. Link is down in the description below. Come say hi in the chat. Maybe we can talk more about it, or even team up and go on some raids together. The game is crossplay. But without further procrastination, stay epic everybody, and remember, escape will make you God.